Hey, what is up? It is Xantho. This is what I look like if you were wondering. Not sure anyone was. They're just here for the PoE content, not to stare at people's faces. But you get to look at my ugly mug anyway, so there you go. So, in the League Starter version, I have decided to switch over to Elementalist because it deals a lot more damage before you go Black Flame. Coldest is better once you go Black Flame because the tree pathing is a little bit better, and you also get an extra curse. And you also get Profane Bloom and Hexproof Enemy Penetration, which is good quality of life, but we should have enough damage to deal with Hexproof anyways anyway. So that should be not too much of a problem. But we also get an extra Golem by going Legion of the Primordial, which is good for survivability. We're going to go in Stone Golem and Chaos Golem. But yeah, a lot more damage. Even though our damage is about the same, we've cut a lot of the damage out of the tree in the gear. So we've cut Malevolence, we've cut some damage clusters in the tree, etc., etc. And that's because we wanted to go with a bunch of armor and go Determination. So our hit pools, our effective hit pools, are as follows: 9,000 for physical, 40,000 for lightning, 30,000 for fire, 37 for cold, and 26, wait, 39, sorry, 29. 30,000 for lightning, 30,000 for fire, 37 for gold, and 26 for chaos. Now we've been able to, since we don't have malevolence anymore, we're putting in determination. So it's going to give us 51% more armor. And also it's going to add with the new level 20 determination adds a flat damage of armor in addition to the more percentage of armor. So now we're up to 4,000 armor, and then we're taking the determination mono reservation efficiency mastery on the armor here. This is the closest armor. We also get some life, some increased armor, and then some life regeneration, which is just good quality of life. We're up to 700 life regen, which is great. So we determination, we're up to 4,000. Slap a Rumi's concoction on there, up to 7,000. Molten shell, we're up to 9,000. That should be molten shell. We're up to 10,493. And then we put a Defiance banner, and we're up to 15,416. And then we have a Chaos Golem, which posts an 83% physical damage reduction with the new armor formulas. Now that's going to be severely reduced when you're taking really big hits, but for like sustained, most of the time you're not one shot in Path of Exile. People think, oh, I got one shot, and no, you usually actually don't get one shot unless you're playing in hardcore and you have a really tanky character which doesn't get one shot, and then you do get one shot, like you see in clips with like Zizaran or something gets truly one shot. But most of the time it's just a combination of a few really big hits or a bunch of small hits that add up, like a bunch of shotgunning projectiles that add up really quickly. And a lot of it's physical and chaos, which is why I'm capping chaos and I'm getting a bunch of physical damage reduction. So now let's look, with Fall Molten Shell up, let's look at our hit pools. Our physical hit pool goes up to 89,345. Our lightning hit pool goes up to 51,820. Our fire hit pool also goes up to 51,820. Our cold pool goes up to 64,328. And our chaos pool goes up to 46,459. The reason the elemental ones are going up is because of Fall Molten Shell and normal Molten Shell. Probably going to move this faster casting to go for casting damage taken from Molten Shell. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And have it trigger at 3272 damage, level 20, full level 20. Yeah, I'm going to have to if I want level 20 Molten Shell. So That'll activate, and then I can use Molten Shell by itself. For a ton of extra, and Molten Shell gives you basically a buffer that can take up to 30% of your armor, up to a maximum of 30,000. So if I have 15,000 armor, well, no Molten Shell, I have 13,000 armor. 35% buff can take damage equal to 30% of your armor. So that'll be like 4,000, and 35% of damage from taking sacred hits from for the buff. So that's basically, especially like, think of it as mind over matter, especially the same as mind over matter, because mind over matter is 30%, this is 35% damage from hits. It's basically a mind over matter pool with a pool of about 4,000 or 5,000 with Vol Molten Shell. So that's a pretty good chunk of extra, and it says the guard pool is 4,625. Yeah, an additional 4,625 effective health that's providing us, which is just huge when it's up. And then when you have Forbidden Taste with usually when you take a savage hit, that's just gonna, you know, catapult you right back to 100% HP, and you're gonna degen a little bit, but with 75% chaos res and 700 life regen, that life regen is over 300, is over 400. So you're still going to be regenerating 400 even after you take a massive hit, which is really good. But you're going to be at 100% HP anyway, but you need to out-regen the degen. But regardless, we're still doing over 1 million Ignite DPS at level 94. At level like 91, you can get most of the DPS. You're just missing a couple of life nodes here. So if you don't want to get to full level 94 before switching to the later game version of the build, that's also an option. But I'm gonna try to fit Determination into the other versions of the build, and path down here in this similar pathing style, and then basically taking off this branch of the tree and then going back into go back into a cluster jewel setup, which basically takes us to about level 100. That would increase our DPS a solid bit, but not a massive amount. The pathing for the other version is just a lot better. So we can Control Z, undo all of that. We're back to where we were before. But basically that's the update at 5 a.m. because I'm up all night theory crafting. So that's where I am right now.